Kick is a brand new live streaming platform. And for those of you who are new to the platform, or maybe you don't stream, may not know about Kick. Kick was kind of like put onto everyone's radar a few months ago. And everyone started hearing about it, but it was made popular and it's been going all over Twitter. A lot of streamers going over to it. I'm going to start up the video, but we're going to start up the video. We're going to go to a certain point and then we're going to go to another video. Okay. It's going to be like 20 minutes worth of React content. If you want to like bounce and it's like, you don't want to watch React content and me talking about Kick a little bit, I will be done with this in like an hour and we'll play some Dark Souls. Okay. I want to do this because if I'm playing Dark Souls for a few hours and I'm going to be dying to Soul of Cinder, then I need to like decompress and I need to talk about content related stuff so I don't like go insane. Okay, that's what I'm doing today. Okay, so we're gonna watch a video. We're gonna react to content. Last time we talked about the TikTok hearings, so this is what we're doing today. So this is what we're talking about today, and we'll just react to it, talk about it, and then we'll go to the next thing. Okay, here for the long haul. I love all y'all's faces. Y'all are fucking pretty as fuck. I swear to God. Kick Dark Souls you. There we go. We're a package deal. The lot of us all together. We come as one package. All right. This isn't anyone's way, right? Looks like I'm looking at him, right? I'm looking into his soul. All right. Good. Good. Let me know if this is loud. We're going to talk about Kick today. If you haven't heard, Kick, brand new streaming platform on the block. And of course, whenever there's a new streaming platform, everyone wants to say just as fast as they can. I don't think it's new. Well, no, not that I don't think it's new. I think it's like in the upswing because it's getting sponsored streamers, but I think it's been out for like half a year. It's going to be the Twitch killer. It's going to kill Twitch. Kick has some great things going for it. We're going to talk about that as well. A couple things that don't look that great, to be totally honest with you. You know, there's pros, cons, and this in no way will be the next Mixer, right? Remember Mixer? It's not going to be the next Mixer, right? Oh my God. I remember when they were talking about Mixer for the very first time. And Mixer, honestly, I'll say, I'm glad that a lot of people got enjoyment out of it. I don't think everyone had a negative experience with Mixer. I think it had great community vibes. But at the same time, I went on the platform and I hated it. I hated how it looked. I hated how it felt. Red. It didn't feel enjoyable. Nothing against anyone who's on Mixer or streaming on Mixer. I did not like the look of it. It felt like, I think the reason why is because it felt like I was watching like Facebook. It felt like everyone was just like Facebook friends. Oh no, it felt like MySpace. That's what it felt like. Be the next Mixer. For about the last decade or so, Twitch has pretty much dominated the video game live streaming community. You've had a few people try to come in and take hold of that space. You had Microsoft come in with Mixer, rest in peace. You had Facebook Gaming try to do their thing, and it never really panned out super well. TikTok trying to get into the streaming space. You have YouTube Gaming that's gunning for that space as well, and nothing's really ever stuck. Everything's kind of fallen a tad. I'll say this graph I think is skewing Twitch in a certain sort of way. It's like it is 2021, so maybe it's different because 2021 was still COVID, so maybe. But YouTube, I think, is like, I would say in the 30%. Versus the 15% that it's showing. Oddly enough, I think that YouTube within 5 years will be even if not close with Twitch. A bit short, I think. So in swoops Kick, this brand new streaming site that looks suspiciously like Twitch in a lot of ways. I mean, the UI looks exactly like Twitch. Just literally. Yeah, I mean, it looks like Twitch. Everybody is super excited about it. Yeah. It's gaining momentum and traction. So what does Kick offer that the other contenders didn't? Well, there's a couple main things. Number one, it seems like Kick they're a little bit more lenient
let's just say, when it comes to content. So, you know, you getting banned for seemingly no reason is less likely to happen.
Also, he's got like
Kick,
greenish
way
eyes.
more
Holy
lenient with
God.
the content. And this is probably the biggest thing that's giving Kick so much momentum right up front, the revenue side of it.
All right, before he gets into that. So Kick seems to be very similar to Twitch in that it's a streaming service. There's one difference, however, that's the streamer payment. A Twitch user gets $7.30 and 50/50. No, it's straight up 50/50 now. And I think anybody who was legacy is 50/50 still. Maybe for a few exceptions, I think there's a few exceptions. Kick advertises a 90-10 split. I think he just said it's 95-5, which gives the streamer way more. Kick was made by a Twitch streamer, now a Kick streamer, which is Trainwrecks, and then who wasn't happy with the Twitch TOS payment options. I haven't been on the site, but I read that the website layout is almost identical to Twitch. Exactly like Twitch, an almost exact clone. And I think that's the exact idea that they're trying to do. They're trying to appeal to small streamers for a reason, though, and I'll give my thoughts on that. But they're pulling in the verified people, the people who have followings for a certain reason. I'll talk about that later.
The split is crazy. It's a 95-5 split on all revenue. To break that down, 95% of the revenue that a creator generates through subscriptions, donations, whatever on the site, so basically goes to the creator. And
what's the Twitch payout now? I think the Twitch payout now is what, $50? It's what, $50, right? Because I think it used to be like 75 or like 100. So if we do a Twitch payout, which is $50, and then multiply that by 0.95%, 0.95, 95%, that's practically double. I don't know why I didn't have to math that out. It's nearly $100. Math, right? Oh my God.
The remaining 5% goes to Kick to help maintain servers
now, math. We got everything
all
here.
The infrastructure associated with running a site like that. Compared to Twitch is a 50-50 split. 50% of the revenue going to the creator and the other half going to Twitch. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, there has to be a catch. And the answer is that, I mean, there isn't one. In theory.
There is. And I think the reason why is the way I think about it is, and it's no excuse for Amazon. No excuse for Amazon because Amazon, like, what are you doing? Right? Because Twitch stole my Amazon. Kick is owned by people. But the point is, if they're able to take almost none of the revenue split on streamers making money, where else are they making the money? That's what I'll say.
I guess. You do, in fact, get 95% of all the revenue that you bring to the platform. So I guess the question is, why aren't Twitch streamers just flocking over to Kick in droves and a mass exodus occurring over on Twitch? Why isn't that happening?
I think it's all about reputation. Plain and simple. It's reputation. It's a platform that was inevitably created in response to gambling. And what kind of reputation does gambling have on Twitch?
Surely Twitch has to be just crapping themselves right now, right? To figure out the answer to that question, we've got to take a look at the streamers that did make the migration to Kick from Twitch. So let's take a look at Aiden Ross and Trainwrecks, probably the two most notable creators to move over from Twitch to Kick. Aiden Ross, obviously, he's massive. Clean. Everyone knows him. Known for GTA 5 streams and for gambling. And he had amassed 7.2 million followers over on Twitch prior to him moving to Kick. It's massive. And then you've got Trainwrecks, 2.1 million followers over on Twitch. Maybe. You probably know him for his gaming and gambling streams. Now, there's a word that I emphasized for both of these gentlemen, and you probably have picked up on it by now. It's gambling. They're both into gambling. They like gambling. Gambling.
It might be related to gambling, guys. I think he's onto something. I think he might be onto something.
They like to gamble. And boy, if you like to gamble, you're gonna love streaming on Kick. So by now, I'm sure you see the correlation here, right? It's gambling. And for a person like Aiden Ross or Trainwrecks, who
casinos
has
are fair, guys.
A viewer with an average age of, I don't know, 15 or 16 years old, it's probably not the best content to be promoting to your audience. But I mean, I'll leave that up to them. Just my 2 cents. I mean, I know when I was 15 or 16, I couldn't wait to learn about the wild world of gambling from my favorite influencers.
It wasn't gambling. Gambling was not the reason that a gaming platform like Twitch, sort of gaming platform, gained so much traction. The reason why is because gamers nowadays are basically gambling without realizing that they're gambling. When you're playing mobile games, when you're playing like Overwatch and you're getting loot boxes, if you're playing FIFA and you're getting the card packs or something, like the player packs.
Okay, I've stumbled onto a major company conspiracy, Mac.
If you're getting weapon skins, all that cosmetic shit, it traps you. And I wouldn't say cosmetics directly. Sometimes cosmetics, you buy the cosmetic, it's over. However, the thing I'll say about anything that has cosmetics, why do you think a skin costs $20, but you can only buy like V-Bucks that give you $25 worth of V-Bucks? It's not because they're giving you a deal. They're giving it to you so you have some left over. So you have to buy the next thing. And you're like, well, I'm just going to buy this. I only have to spend $1. But if I spend $10, I'll get double that amount. And then you hit cancel because you're like, you know what? I'm not going to do that. And then they go, but we're going to offer you 60% now. So you go, I'm going to go for the 60 spend. I'm basically wasting money if I don't. And then you buy the 60% bonus. And then when you buy the next thing, now you have all this left over. Maybe you have enough left over to get a free thing. Now I can buy this item. I don't have to spend anything because I bought some before. That was such a great deal. What do you buy the next time? You spend $100 for V-Bucks because you're like, that gets me the best deal. I'm going to get so much stuff with this. And then how much do you spend of that? Maybe all of it, maybe none of it, maybe some of it. And then you just hold on to it for a while and you can't do anything with it. But the point is, it becomes this cycle and you don't realize that it's gambling. And it's like, but I'm just gaming. I just want to look cool. So from personal experience, I've only ever bought skins twice in gaming. I bought the Wukong skin in Fortnite. I bought Snorlax skin in Pokemon Unite. I have never bought skins or stuff like that otherwise that I know of, that I can think of right now. But I'm pretty sure it's those two limited experiences. I've done some research on that kind of stuff. I'm curious as to what part, like it accesses. But like the point is, like he said, these are people who are, to be on Twitch, you have to be 16, I think is what it is. You're on Twitch at 16 years old and you're already being ingrained in this stuff. And you see that your favorite streamer is gambling. It's not too much of a stretch. In reality, it's not too much of a stretch. It's not far from what gaming already does. It really is not. The main difference that you're experiencing is like the game that you're playing. But a lot of video games, especially the big video games, have forms of gambling. Even The Witcher, I think, has like a card game related to it. Fallout New Vegas, I think, has a game that's gambling in it. The games have gambling in it too. So it's like it's not impossible of a reach. I'm an infant of a child.
Which at the time was the rock band Creed. Listen, I'm not proud to say it. So why leave Twitch, where you've already established yourself, in favor for a gamble that may not pan out? Gamble. Did you like that?
Because you can do both. Because you can do both. You can stream one day on Kick and then 2 on Twitch and you're fine. You can meet whatever minimums you can do. The thing is, a lot of people have this misconception about streaming that you have to stream a lot. In reality, you can get away with streaming 2 to 3 times a week and be perfectly fine. Some people stream even less and they do just fine. It's not a problem. So you could do both.
They like gambling. Did you get it? All right, well, I'll stop. In Aiden's case, the move was a no-brainer for a multitude of reasons.
2 times a week. So yeah,
now I'm not going to bore you with the nitty-gritty
deal.
Details, but Aiden has, kind of a track record for doing some dumb things from time to time. Violating Twitch's TOS and getting banned for it. I mean, the dude eats bans like you and I eat breakfast. In total, he's been banned.
I think why he inevitably got banned, and I think it's a permanent move that he's doing over to Kick. I think is because I think he was trying to incite shit. He was trying to incite hate or something like that. When he was making all these boastful things and all this bragging about Kick, I think he probably either got reported or someone caught wind of it or someone noticed it and considered it to fall under that category. That's my guess. I don't think it was intentional, but we all know he was banned. I'm pretty sure that was the case. So I don't know why, but
7 times already, and the 8th one was likely the final and permanent straw. Aiden never actually specified.
I have no beef or like weigh in about these streamers as well. Trainwrecks, Aiden Ross are the main 2 ones I think they talk about in this video that I've heard. I have no beef with them, or like I don't have any like I don't care. Ultimately, it's the site. I'm curious about the site. If you like the streamer, great.
Why he was banned. He was advised not to say why for some reason, but according to Aiden himself, it was for a quote-unquote dumb reason. I don't know what that means, but
advised not to say why.
And as for Trainwrecks, he actually decided to leave on his own accord. He said that Twitch had a bunch of inconsistent policies, things that he maybe didn't quite agree with, so he decided to leave the platform. He also wasn't a huge fan of how Twitch allegedly plays favorites with some creators. But perhaps the biggest reason why
I would argue if Twitch is playing favorites, you have to realize you're on the receiving end of that to some degree as a partner streamer. Like there's no way you're not receiving any benefits. So it's a bit jaded to say like oh, some are getting benefits whereas I'm not. If someone's attacking your livelihood, then yeah, it's easy to go like, well, everyone's getting favoritism except for me in this case. But not too long ago, it was hot tub streamers in that same exact boat. So it's like everyone gets theirs whenever it's something that Twitch doesn't like to show with advertisers. Just that, and no one's special.
These guys decided to pack it up and hit the road is this. On September 20th of last year, Twitch announced a neat little update to their community guidelines that essentially perma-banned gambling off the platform. Slots, blackjack, roulette, dice.
I think sports betting was exempt from this. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was sports betting was like the one exception to this.
I mean, you name it, all of those, any and all gambling games will now get you hit with a ban hammer from Twitch, which is sad because those are all my favorite gambling games. Damn it, Twitch. This not only angered Aiden and Trainwrecks, but it also pissed off the people over at Stake.com. Stake.com is a really well-known gambling site. They were sponsoring a lot of these creators on Twitch to help promote Stake.com. Stake has been making, in my estimation, hundreds of millions of dollars each month off of Twitch. Now, how do I know this? I mean, you don't have to take it from me. Trainwrecks himself said he was paid $360 million for 16 months worth of gambling streams on Twitch. That's like $23 million a month that this guy was making on gambling.
Hold on.
Dollars.
Trainwreck dropped a bomb on PokeLol's stream when he claimed to have made $360 million in the past 16 months by gambling.
For 16 months worth of gambling streams on Twitch. That's like $23 million a month that this guy was making on gambling streams on Twitch, and he is far from the only one that was getting paid to do that. Now, if Stake can afford to be paying streamers that much money to promote their site to play, I don't know, slots for a...
If he's making $23 million to promote it, that means they're making that and then some. If I had to guess like how much they're making from it, on top of that, I would say it's got to be at least double, because there's no way he's their only streamer. I mean, it's gambling too, so it's not like Stake exists only on Twitch, so it's got to be insane money.
couple times every month, you can only imagine how much profit they're raking in. So Stake saw the gambling ban that Twitch imposed, and they said, you know what? If you can't beat them, join them. So that's exactly what they did. They went.
Let's look it up. Hold on. How much? Yeah, a $1 billion operation. It's a $1 billion operation.
Went ahead and they launched Kick.com. And let me tell you, things went downhill pretty fast, and it was because of none other than Mr. Aiden Ross himself. Now, I don't want to be rude, but Aiden is, he's about as sharp as a bowling ball. I'm going to say it. But, when he moved over to Kick...
There's been a lot of gambling ads in Australia. Now it's required to put a full 10 seconds disclaimer. And about win some, you lose some more. Wow. I swear. I had that same amount of culture shock whenever I found out about cigarettes here. Cigarettes in Europe, they literally show like bodies that are mangled and riddled with like cancer. And like they'll show cysts and like the stoma, whatever it's called. They'll show the nastiest shit. They don't show the brand. They show like the nastiest pictures. They'll show like suffering babies. I'm not kidding. That's what it feels like. Gambling is going to be put on that level. It's terrible. Like it's like, it makes sense, but I don't know how someone smoke. How do you grab that package of smokes and like go like, oh yeah, I'm okay with smoking. I've smoked. But damn, they're on the boxes here too. Yeah, so
things went a little bit crazy, and their PR team had their work cut out for them.
What does a fascist mean? It means you are a far right authorization ultra analyst political ideology movement characterized by dictator leadership, centralized autocracy, militarism, forcible suppression of opposition. So I don't know what that means, bro. I swear to God. I don't know what the f fascism is. I don't know what the f that is. What is an example of a fascist? Yo! All right, bro. See what I'm saying, chat? Like, this is why I don't f y'all, bro.
Oh, I forgot. The guy also has a pretty big raging hard-on for our boy Andrew Tate. And I'm not exaggerating here. In fact, here's a clip of him sniffing Andrew's chair during a chess match. You know, it has nothing to do with the actual story.
Yeah, addiction is...
share this with you guys. If I have to suffer, you have to suffer too, goddammit. Anyway, the way that Aiden ruined Kick's reputation is pretty straightforward. He just behaved as usual. First of all, he showed actual porn on stream. And when you figure that the majority of his viewers are probably underage, it just stream the Super Bowl. It's something that could not only get you banned, it could get you and the entire platform sued by the freaking NFL. Ladies and gentlemen, you don't mess with the NFL when it comes to broadcast rights. Everybody knows that. You broadcast as much as 5 seconds of a football game, they're gonna break down.
They were really quick to take that stuff down after they had announced like, oh yeah, you can do whatever you want on this site. It was quick to like get onto that stuff, and you don't realize how much of that stuff gets taken down by Twitch just by like the auto ban.
Down your door and beat the ever-loving out of you. You just don't mess with the NFL. Anyone else. You don't mess with the FBI, the IRS, or the NFL. Leave them alone. But despite all that, it didn't stop Kick from signing a massive deal with Aiden. In fact, Aiden said himself that it's the biggest streaming deal of...
I got audited once. And it was the worst time. It was the worst time. I was scared. I was legit scared. Do not mess with the IRS. It's too much stress.
Of all time, whatever that means. Shortly after his Twitch ban, he went live on Kick and he explained the entire fiasco. And it got out of hand really fast. And I mean really fast. But enough about old Aiden. Let's talk about the real mind.
I heard that people were putting swastikas in the chat quite consistently.
maestro behind the entire thing.
I hire
the
someone to do
big
it for
name,
me.
the guy behind it all,
do that at some
Trainwrecks. After months of speculation about Trainwrecks and his desire to maybe start his own streaming platform, he ended up signing with Kick. He announced that he would join Kick in an advisory role and that he would start streaming there. The real problem here, though, is that he never actually told anybody that the streaming platform was owned by Stake, you know, the gambling site. So he elected to kind of ignore this very important nugget of information, and he leaned more on pitching how, you know, it's way more friendly for creators when it comes to revenue and the types of content you can stream. He made sure to highlight all those things, but never.
I think all of this is fine. If it's fine. A casino wanting to take they're realizing, okay, Twitch is a great space for streamers, where we can get a lot of customers, essentially, as bad as gambling is, right? I mean, gambling's not a good thing. It's a negative, no matter how you look at it. It's fine. If they want to use their profits to make their own streaming platform and they have the funds to do it, and it can have more liberties here and there than Twitch does, that's all fine. But I think the transparency is the issue here. So it's just transparency and just being clear and honest about what your intentions are.
Never let people know that the site itself was owned by this massive online gambling company. It's kind of important, and I'll tell you why in a minute here. As a matter of fact, he was called out by the main man himself, CoffeeZilla, and that guy, he can sniff out red flags. Some say even better than Aiden Ross can sniff chairs. But to be fair, unlike Aiden, Trainwrecks, he's got a pretty high IQ. He's a smart guy, and so he's done a couple things that I think are really good, especially with Kick. He's called out a lot of view botting that's been happening on the gambling streams and stuff like that.
I think ultimately, Trainwrecks he's experienced in it. And so he's not uneducated in what needs to happen. But I think it's hard to appeal that Kick isn't Twitch without having some similarities. So the obvious negatives on Twitch are like botting, whether it's view botting or it's like spam bots. And then you have people who break TOS, like break laws, preventing that, and like copyright claims, etc. And then like the TV showing, etc. And then things that are maybe like borderline illegal, or like maybe they're legal in some places and illegal in other places, and you can't show that stuff. So it's a matter of like content moderation, I guess, is the ultimate thing. It's going to have a lot of those features, and I guarantee Kick has added a lot of those features, or will enforce those more as time goes on.
I believe he wants to see the platform do well. But then again, it could be that he's just worried about his reputation, since he was one of Kick's biggest endorsers at the very beginning. All right, now that all the main characters are developed in this story, let's talk about the real elephant in the room, and that would be Stake, you know, the gambling website. It goes without saying that handling a streaming platform that is butting heads with the likes of Twitch, who is owned by Amazon, by the way, in case you didn't know, it can be pretty expensive. The fact that Kick doesn't even have ads fully implemented yet is kind of worrisome, especially with all of these big payouts that they're paying their creators.
This is what I feel like is going to happen. I don't feel like the payout's going to change, but I feel like a lot more is going to change. We may not see ads. They may not be benefiting from ads. You know, it may not be that they're able to get advertisers to get that profit revenue stream, considering that it is a gambling, it features gambling, and that's their main feature. And considering the content moderation is kind of loose, you had people showing the Super Bowl on it. So I don't think it's going to have that right now. I will think they will get sponsors. They will get advertisers of some sort. They will have these things, and you'll start to see these things creep in. Once they start to creep in is when people will realize, but I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to get enough people sponsored to get it happening. There was a website a little bit ago, streamer TikTok, I think is what, let me see. Streamer app like TikTok. gosh, what was it called? I can't remember what it was called, guys, but there was an app not too long ago. It wasn't Combo. I can't remember what it was called, but basically it was a streamer version of TikTok. Basically, you had a button on there. You can click follow to follow someone's stream. You had a bunch of sponsored streamers featuring it, and they were trying to sell it like it's the TikTok for streamers. You find other streamers type of thing. But what ended up happening is you have all these people posting on there, and in reality, all it was doing was funneling people to the top 1% of streamers who were getting sponsored by the app. And once they started to pull back on that support, because it would just funnel people to those streamers. Once they stopped happening and they were more transparent about it, people pulled away because people were like, wait, it's just going to benefit the top 1%. It's not going to benefit me. Because the reality of it all is all streamers, in end all be all, are in some form of competition with one another, and they don't want somebody else who is going to take away their viewership from them, or maybe be something that's not really going to contribute to their personal growth.
There's such a massive split, so you have to ask yourself, how are they going to get the money to keep this thing running? And the answer, ladies and gentlemen, is gambling. In fact, let's take a trip over to kick.com right now. Let's see what the most popular category is.
Slots.
It's slots and casino. Gambling. So yeah, I mean, you stream gambling, you go to the front of the line, no questions asked, and your stream gets shoved down everybody's throats. It's great. As for the people that want to stream literally anything else, I mean, tough break, I guess. So therein lies the problem. Kick has been promoted to death.
I think others will grow, and if Kick is smart, they will help boost up the most popular categories on Twitch on Kick. They will have sponsored streamers in the top 10 categories that are on Twitch in Kick. So you'll have Valorant streamers get sponsored, League streamers get sponsored, or I don't know, partnered. GTA 5, things like Counter-Strike, Dota, FIFA, Minecraft. You'll see those popular things still get on top of there if they're smart. But I think gambling will always be at least in the top 3. At least
as a gaming live streaming site. But that's not what it is it? I mean, unless you want to count crypto gambling as gaming, it's, at the very worst, it's an honest to God lie. At the best, it's just a big identity crisis, and Kick needs to figure out what the hell they're trying to do with the platform. Kick also has a certain amount of apathy toward its own policies, with Aiden Ross's behavior kind of going unchecked, especially with streaming stuff like an NFL game. It just seems like this is not the best precedent to set for the platform. Not to mention that they could get sued by not only the NFL, but hell, Twitch themselves. I mean, let's take a look at the sites side by side. These look a lot alike. Twitch has a lot of...
Can Twitch sue Kick for like a likeness in the site? Because I got to imagine Mixer had a lot of parallels. You think so? Because like the format is pretty uncanny. It's pretty much on point. So
lawyers, Amazon's lawyered up, baby. If they think Kick is a real substantial threat, I could see them trying to say, hey, the UI looks exactly the same. What are you doing? I'm actually really curious to know what you guys think about this. Let me know in the comments. Do you think that Kick is going to be around to stay? Is it an actual competitor for Twitch long term? It's just really interesting to me that...
I don't think it will be. I don't think it'll be competitive long term, and I think it's silly to think that it will be. But I think it will at least, just like any other platform that's come out, it's going to pull people away. People are going to go back to Twitch. But it's one less category that Twitch is going to be benefiting off of themselves. So it's their loss no matter what. But will it last?
It seems to be being promoted to gullible teenagers. Seems to be like the number one category they're going after right now.
Change.
I don't know if that has any longevity to it or not. Let me know what you think in the comments. We'll see what happens. In the meantime, here's Aiden Ross being goofy or whatever.
I'm not gonna watch that. I don't personally think that anyone will care. I don't. I don't think that it has enough. There's enough like people doing it to really make it happen. However, like I said before, and like I've mentioned before, Twitch is a site where it's a competition. So I think if you're a brand new streamer, or if you already have a following, it's not going to hurt you to do it. Are you going to get sponsored? Maybe if you already have like that following type of thing. Or are you going to get, boosted up? Can you use it to kind of like move back to Twitch and then have like a decent following from that? Possibly. You can definitely be smart about it. Is it a good idea long term? I don't think so. I think it's probably going to be not beneficial for someone to do that long term. Unfortunately. That's just the nature of the beast, really. I think. I really do. So. Great video. That was Zach Shutt. By the way, I subscribed to him and that was a great video, by the way. I have one more video. We're just gonna watch it, but this one I think will be a little bit more like looking forward, because this video is actually 3 months old. So when I said that this site it's new, but in a way it's not. That's how young it is.
Trainwreck announcing his brand new project and calling out Twitch heavily while he does it. That being a website known as Kick.com.
If you have an issue with Eddie, an owner of Stake, being invested, then don't stream on Kick. Do not view streams on Kick.
My take, this website will probably in 6 months either disappear or be flooded with gambling streamers or live vicariously through people who are losing all of their fake money because all of it's sponsored anyway.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody.
People like to watch gambling streamers, plain and simple, because they love to see them win, and they absolutely get obsessed with seeing them lose. You see them lose a lot of money, and you're just it's an addiction on its own to watch somebody lose, especially somebody has a good amount of money, because it feels like you're winning. Feels like you're winning when you see someone else lose, especially if you don't like them, even if you like them. But like, I don't know, it's a weird relationship. It's very strange.
This video is a public service announcement, and consider it a helpful warning, because I've never seen a streaming platform with quite so many flags as we're seeing with Kick.com. A brief summary: Kick.com and Trainwrecks made some insane announcements for their streaming platform, including giving 95% of sub revenue to the creators, or their Kicks, which is like their version of Bits. 100% of the revenue goes to the streamers. This is unprecedented. It sounds great. It sounds too good to be true.
I think Bits is 100% to streamers as well, right?
Hi, how are you?
Is it Mausoleum? I like the name. Welcome. Hi, how are you? Welcome to stream.
True. Because it probably is.
I think Bits is 100%.
So let's jump into it.
Streamers, December is upon us, and it's about time that we don
skip the ad,
our stream
but if you want overlays,
Since
Senpai Gaming, guys.
Twit longer on Monday, a lot
has
already been revealed about the new streaming site, Kick.com.
And
I'm not going to go over the entire Twit longer. The thing is massive. But essentially, the first 2 paragraphs of the whole thing are entirely about how Twitch is mistreating their streamers and essentially ripping them off. And so now he is partnering with Kick.com to create a streaming platform that treats the streamers fairly and resolves this.
Twitch does a lot of things that are unfair. My vouch, or like my where area I side with Kick to a degree is that Twitch in a lot of ways could provide this 95-5 split, and they don't. There's a lot of things they could provide Twitch streamers, and they don't. And I think that disgruntled people who are upset with Twitch, that's legitimate for the most part. There's maybe it's like 75-25. Came to say hi and say I like your content. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I hope you have I hope you have a good time, and I hope you enjoy yourself. But I'll leave you to either lurk or just hang with us for a bit. But well, thank you for the compliment, though. My content is,
and that sounds amazing, but it's led to the obvious question, which is if Twitch, who is owned and subsidized by Amazon, can't afford to pay 50% to the streamer and still be profitable, how is this brand new platform, Kick, going to pay 95% and still be profitable? It turns out there's an answer. It just
probably because they don't have as many streamers. Like, you don't have to. Not everyone is making a profit right now, if anything, on Kick, and only the people they are the sponsored ones, and they know that they're paying them. So it's probably not a lot.
Left out of the twit longer. So Kick.com is actually owned by Stake, which is the online gambling website that's been sponsoring massive streamers like
$1 billion industry, by the way.
Ross. Problem is the gambling website was banned from Twitch back in September. And there's something you need to understand. As someone who grew up in Nevada, someone who grew up around slot machines, you need to know how much.
Has anyone here been gambling before? Like actual gambling, like a casino gambling? I've never been gambling. So I don't have like a real perspective. I haven't. I've never been gambling. So I can't say I have like a perspective on it. For me, if I were to go gambling tomorrow, I would say I had $500. I would take in the 500. I wouldn't spend over it. That's all I would like. I would bring it like cash or like, I don't know how you're supposed to do it, but I assume cash is okay. And just not go over that. If I get over that and I make it, I'll keep on gambling. I'll spread it out a bit, enjoy myself, but there's no way I'm doing it. I think it's like something, some people are like their brain chemistry makes it too, like they have to have that high stakes win. Too scary for me. Looks too professional. Slot machines look like they're for old people. Yeah, and I think slot machines are kind of like claw machines, like when you're a kid. They're slated for you to lose. So like you're better off playing the stuff that's like chance, like dice or roulette or something like that. High chance, but like your risk is that it's like you can have small victories that still get you money. I think. I don't know. I really don't know.
How much money casinos make. Like Nevada doesn't have income tax because gamblers cover that cost.
I did not know that.
Both Train and Aiden talked about how much they made from
income tax is covered by gamblers.
Aiden talked about making $2 million a month, and Train talked about making over $22 million a month.
I've been paid $360 million for 16 months of gambling.
And this is why it answers the question earlier, how it can be profitable. In order for Stake to justify paying Trainwrecks $22 million a month, it means that his gambling, his exposure of the gambling website to his audience
to have earned them way more.
Profited Stake at least $22 million a month. Whether directly or indirectly, paying him that money meant Stake made more than that amount of money. And so this means when they got banned off of Twitch and couldn't advertise anymore, they took a massive hit in revenue. Like we're talking, they probably lost
I would say they probably lost hundreds of millions of dollars. It had to have been hundreds of millions.
9 figures a year. It's hundreds of millions of dollars. So,
okay.
What was their response to this?
Yeah.
Step 1, make a complete ripoff of twitch.tv. You call it kick.com. And I mean, just look at the two side by side. They are basically the same website. I actually think they may have copied and pasted some of the source code. Step 2, pay one of the largest
illegal?
and most...
That's what I got to find out. Is copying website design illegal? Not only do you risk infringing the trademark, but you also run a risk of infringing the copyright. Copying and republishing parts of a website without permission of the copyright of the owner will constitute copyright infringement. All right. There it is. There it is.
Influential streamers on Twitch to push your website.
It looks just
and
like
step
it.
3,
It
weaponize
so
the current
similar.
frustration that streamers have with Twitch and their revenue sharing models by offering them 95%. So there's the first set of bad news. That whole 2 paragraphs about how Twitch...
Guys, 95% of zero is still zero. You know how many streamers there are that don't make anything? There's so many. Like they this is not by any means a boast. By any means a boast. But legitimately, so many make under, like the reason why the revenues the revenue like it's only $50 now is because people weren't making enough money to get money distributed out to them. And I guarantee that was hurting Twitch in some way, because if the money's not coming to the streamers aren't reusing that money, and it's not helping out. They want that money coming back to them. And if it's constantly sitting in one spot, it's not benefiting Twitch. They want it to be reused. It's like giving you $5 and going, well, you can spend it on all these things, but this is $10. Like you want people to spend that money. So I guarantee the reason why is because there's so many streamers who are on Kick who aren't making any money, but they're pulling in viewers, and viewers can go gamble.
Twitch is not taking care of their streamers, and Kick.com and Train want to fix the problem, and they want to take care of those streamers again. It's all a lie. That has nothing to do with why they're making Kick.com. Kick.com is 100% an advertising platform for Stake. That's all it is. It's a giant billboard. Stake knows they will make so much money off of advertising their gambling on Kick.com.
I don't necessarily think. Oh damn, I messed it up.
22 million.
I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I think it's still okay. Oddly enough, it's still okay. That Stake is just using it as an advertising platform for their site. Is it a bit seedy? Of course. Will it pull in people that gamble? You bet. Do I hope that laws can somehow restrict this? So if you're viewing this, then you either get some sort of warning, or you have to say that you're 18 and you have to prove it with, I don't know, some sort of verification. That's more than just I'm over 18. Yes, really do. Will they?
Massive hit in revenue. Like we're talking, they probably Twitch.tv, you call it Kick.com, and I mean, just look at the two side by side.
Right, I skipped back.
Kick.com and Train want to fix the problem, and they want to take care of those streamers again. It's all a lie. That has nothing to do with why they're making Kick.com. Kick.com is 100% an advertising platform for Stake. That's all it is. It's a giant billboard. Stake knows they will make...
Does every streamer have a better hairline than I do? He's got nice eyebrows too. What the fuck?
So much money off of advertising their gambling on Kick.com that they're willing to eat the cost of the sub revenue. They're willing to eat the cost of the web hosting, which is super expensive. And this is super important. You need to understand what this is going to lead to. How does this affect the platform? It means that Stake makes all their money off of gambling viewers, and they lose money on everything else. Every time someone streams gaming, they lose money. Every time someone streams just chatting, they lose money, which means their goal will be to maximize how many people are watching Stake.com gambling and minimize the amount of people watching anything.
If Kick is smart, they will take a hit deliberately in categories that they know of that are filled with people who like to gamble. People who play League, people who play Valorant, people who play FIFA, people who play Overwatch, people who play CSGO. Guarantee if you did that and you pulled in those people, young crowds, older crowds, people who already are playing games that there's some form of gambling in them, or gotcha, Genshin Impact streamers, guarantee they will profit from it massively.
So you can expect
sponsor
to see
those
the
people,
top
and
gambling streamers boosted to the top of the directory, shoved in your face, and anybody else completely suppressed. I believe that is an inevitability of this website, and I think it's foolish to think otherwise. And on top of that, you're going to see these top gambling streamers like Trainwreck and Aiden Ross. You're going to see them subsidized. You're going to see them sponsored by Stake, which brings us to probably
I don't
the
have anything
largest
against
problem.
it, but
For
I
every
know that
person
it's
walking
gotcha.
out of a casino
Like
that
it's
has
just
made
gotcha,
money,
right?
there are 100 other people walking out of a casino that have lost part or all of their life savings, or dozens of slickers walking out of casinos having lost.
It's predatory. There's no way around it, guys. It's predatory. It's set up for you to lose. Gambling is bad. Gambling will always be bad.
Lost other people's life savings. The entire gambling industry is built on the foundation of enticing you with a potential reward and then rigging the system to guarantee that you lose it. When streamers are paid to gamble, they're not gambling because they're guaranteed to win. That's not what gambling is. They're essentially being paid.
If you get paid $22 million and you gamble $20 million, you still won.
to have fun and play a game that's zero risk and all reward. And then you are meant to watch that and say, oh, I want in on that too. I want to have that fun. And then you go in and you play a rigged game against you and you're guaranteed to lose. And look, I've had fun with family and friends at blackjack tables. This is not a PSA against gambling. That's not what this is. The point of this video is that if you're going to trust your career to a company, maybe don't trust it to a company whose foundation principles are deceit and theft.
Let me listen to that last bit again.
Had fun with family and friends at blackjack tables. This is not a PSA against gambling. That's not what this is. The point of this video is that
if you're trying to argue that people shouldn't go to Kick for morality reasons, I think that's the wrong way to go about it. Because people do some immoral shit on Twitch too. Twitch is not perfect. And people don't necessarily stream on this platform for the best of reasons either. However, I will say the deceit, the lying, the portion that I level with is that there are a lot of people who are despairingly affected by this, who have no stake in the game, but can be pushed into a bad situation. That can happen from this. Is that Kick's fault? No. This is something that happened long before Kick ever existed or gambling ever existed on the internet. But is this the streaming platform that's going to take care of you or do better than Twitch? No, it's not. I said it before. I said it in the first video. If anything, it's going to be YouTube in a few years. They do the things that seems like the most by the books. So, what are my thoughts on it? I think that Twitch, in the past little bit, hasn't done anything that I would note as being obviously negative. There's things that are like not great, but nothing that's been crazy besides like the revenue split. But nothing of note that's been like insane. I haven't really seen. I was seeing Twitch on Twitter for a while, and just every post I saw, people were bashing Twitch. So have I seen anything on Twitch that's been like crazy? Analytics expert upgrades. No, that's not a big deal. I think they did like a women's month or a women's day thing. TwitchCon, maybe people bash that, but music artists featuring them, like there really hasn't been anything I've caught, unless you're counting maybe the streamer awards. Maybe the streamer awards, there's probably some like feedback that was negative in that, but I think with all this news, I don't think Twitch needs to or will do anything. This isn't something that's going to make Twitch realize like, oh wow, we were wrong, guys. We were wrong about streamers. We should definitely change their split. I don't think it is, because I think Twitch knows that people won't stay on Kick, and the people who do were never there for Twitch anyways. Not to say like loyalty, because I don't have like blind loyalty for Twitch either, but I think we're all creatures of habit, and it's like people are gonna stay what they're used to. Plain and simple. Plain and simple.